What is happening, guys? We are back for another part of this walkthrough. So, feeling good, feeling pretty good tonight. We're gonna see what we can get through. We got a lot planned, so we're just gonna jump right into this episode. So, first off, we're gonna start off at the Third Church of America. But before we do that, let's make our map a little bit cleaner by taking off some of these markers. And we're gonna go back to the Third Church of America. That is right there. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff planned for this episode. Hopefully, we can get it all in 30 minutes if all goes right. It might be a challenge, but I think we can do it. I think we can pull it off. So, once we get there, we need to ride and get the Mistwood Outskirts Grace, which is right there. Just place a marker right about there and ride off. Also, excuse me if my voice sounds a little rusty. Today was a very hectic day at work. For those of you that don't know, for work, I help people with insurance all day, health insurance. So I'm on the phone talking to people all day long, so you can kind of understand why my voice might be a little shot. But we'll try to do our best. So yeah, just right over here and get this grace. Get that grace. And now we're going to mark, take that marker off. We're going to mark right there. And we're going to go up and visit Kenneth. Visit. I'm putting visit in quotation here because you'll see why in a second. So Kenneth is like, is anybody there? Is anybody there? And we're going to kill Kenneth. Just watch out. He's pretty easy to beat. I have faith that you guys can beat him. I killed him first time on my prep account. Watch out for his golden. Wow, he's more aggressive for some reason on this account. There we go. Pretty easy fight. Kill him. He's going to drop a golden seed. That's why we killed him. Now, obviously, if you're trying to do all the quests in the game, you should keep him alive. But if you want the golden seed for this playthrough, because like I said, this is a playthrough of just becoming OP, and we want every golden seed that we could possibly get early on. So once we get that, right onto the graveyard back here, you can't miss it. It's just right past him, and go around. You know the deal. Nothing too crazy here. Just collect the golden runes first. And on this grave right here, make sure and pick this up. We need this. This is the sleeping pot crafting book, so we'll be able to craft sleeping pots, which are going to be very important. So once we do that, take off that marker right there, and you're going to see there's a little ledge right here, this ledge right down here. Put a marker right about down here, and get on your horse. And also, while you're at it, mark this right here, this structure right here. That's the shack that we'll be riding back to. And then just ride on over here. You can't get up over on this. There's no spirit spring, so you have to ride around. But it's not too big of a deal. I think you'll be fine. Right over here, just jump. Now, you will die there if you don't hit the cliff, so make sure to get the cliff. The fall damage will kill you there. And just ride around here. You should be able to jump right up here. And then ride back here. And we'll get this grace first since we're right over here. We might have a bear chasing us too on the way back to this, so it might be nice to just get this grace. And if you're collecting the paintings in the game, there you go. There's another painting. We are not in this one, in this playthrough, though. and then head toward that other marker on that ledge that we had just marked beforehand. Jump down there. So when you see this water, you know you're going in the right spot. The bear at the water. Now there's going to be a bear down here that tries to get you. Don't worry about it. Just ride down here. We want these right here. Get the Trina's Lily. Pick up all 3 of those and then just ride back to the artist shack. You might have a bear chasing you, but luckily for us, it is not one of those rune bears, which are the more dangerous of the bears. If it was a rune bear, that would be a lot harder to go to. But all you have to do is do that. Okay, back to Mistwood, Graveyard, Sleep Pots, back to Mistwood, Plate Marker, Trina's Lilies, back to Shack Grace. And then we're now next, guys, we're going to take off those markers so we don't get confused. I guess that marker disappeared already down there. And we are going to go down to back to the Church of Pilgrimage. And we're going to pick up the other materials we need for the sleep pots, which are mushrooms. It's pretty cool. You only need Trina's Lilies and mushrooms. So, pretty nice. Once you're here, all you're going to do is... Oh, I thought that was one of them. It was like I missed one in my prep. But all you're going to do is walk out here, guys. And you're going to see a mushroom over here where we collected that seed. Or that, not the seed. Where we collected that shield. There's going to be another mushroom if you go right back behind here. And there's going to be another mushroom right over here in front of the structure. Right here. Get all those mushrooms. And you could actually come here and farm those. Those will respawn after every time you rest the grace. Unlimited supply. The Trina's Lilies will not, though, so just remember that. And once we have that, we have to go back to Church of Ella. So go back to Church of Ella, right over here. That's the first church you literally go to in the game. And then run back here to Kale, or Kale. I think it's Kale, actually. You could talk to him about Blade if you want to now. I don't think it really matters. His quest progresses anyway. What we do want to do, though, is purchase the 3 pots here. We want to purchase all 3 pots. So, purchase all 3 pots. That's all you need to do there. And then head right back to the Mistskirts outskirts. So, the Mistwood outskirts. The Grace we unlocked just a little bit ago. Head right back to there. And then once you get spawned, place a marker at Mistwood Ruins. We're going to go visit our big sleeping bear friend. We're not going to poke the bear, but we are going to visit him. And make sure it is daytime when you do this part. Otherwise, there'll be more bats than there are out here already. Oh, there is a rune bear. That rune bear was not in my prep. Oh my gosh. That was a bad move. For some reason, I did not attract that rune bear in my prep. That might be a bad situation. It's amazing. Like you can do your prep perfect. Your prep will go so good for a walkthrough. And when you go to record the episode, then right after you do the prep for the episode, everything goes to shit. Once we get here, guys, though, make sure you don't have anything following you. If you do, kill it before you go in here, and then get in slouchy sleep mode or sleep mode, scrouch mode. Why can't I say that word? Get those Trina's Lilies. You might as well. We don't need them, but you can get them. Then just jump down here. That bear should stay asleep. He shouldn't wake up. Come down here and get your axe talisman. This will be handy for later on. We won't need it for a while, but it'll be nice to have it for now. That way we don't have to come back here later and get it. And once we're here, just jump right out. Try not to wake up the bear. Okay, Mistwood Ruins, Axe Talisman. You shouldn't have anything aggroing you, so you can teleport out of there. Go back to the first step now. The first step is the very first grace you get in the game once you walk into Limgrave. Alright, so once we're here, guys, turn around toward that structure. Get on your horse, and we're going to do a pretty crazy jump here. We're going to ride back here where we see this platform. We're going to look off and find the drop down, which is over there. And we're going to jump as close to that as we can possibly get. We don't have to land on it. It's not a big deal. If we land on it, we can. That's fine. We just have to land close to it. Come down here, guys, and get this right here. We need this right here. The pickled foul foot. And then get your ass out of this area. So right here, jump. Might take a couple tries to get this. It took me actually 2 tries to get that jump on the prep. And then jump again. And we'll be right back here. Does anybody know if you can get on top of that thing? I've never tried, but I'm wondering if there's like an item up there or something, like a stone sword key. I'm just wondering. I've never been able to get up there, but I've really never tried either. Once we do that, guys, once we get the first step pickled foot, head to the Fort Ferrith. So Fort Ferrith, if you don't remember, guys, is out here in Caelid. We got that in a previous episode. Go back to the Fort Ferrith. Yeah, I had missed that jump a couple times in the prep, so we're actually ahead of schedule. Now, while we're here, guys, before we do anything else, there's a couple things we need to do. On your first placement, place the pickled foul foot that you have. And on this one, you should have picked up some blood greases if you were doing the same path I have. If you haven't, just look up online real quick, blood grease location, and go get a few. You only need a few for these. Apply those blood greases right there. It doesn't really matter where, but you can put them right there. And then get on your horse. We're going to ride right over where that tail splits. You see where that tail splits? This is the best area I've found to farm this thing. Ride right into here, and then apply the blood grease, just like that, and start going to town on it. Just keep smacking. Gonna take a bit to kill, but it's gonna be worth it. And once your endurance bar fills up, then just let it fill up again so you can have more better attacks. I got faith in you guys. This isn't that hard to do. I'm sure you guys have seen people do this by now if you're not if you're not new to the game, that is. But yeah, when your endurance bar fills up, just let that refill so you can make constant attacks again. And as you see in the top left-hand corner, we have this thing already down past a quarter of its health is gone. So just keep going. By staying on your horse, you actually have a better pattern of hitting this thing with your sword. When you're off your horse, it's a little slower pattern. And you should be fine. There shouldn't be any dragons that should be able to come back here and get you. If there is, well then respawn at the Grace and try it again. The amount of times I've done this, I've never once got killed by a dragon trying to do this, so I feel like it's a good spot. We're already at halfway. And don't worry about popping the pickled foul foot yet. I'll tell you when you can pop it. It's on our quick bar menu, so we have quick access to it real quick, you know. And it only takes a second to pop, so I actually will pop it as I kill the dragon myself, as you'll see here. Almost there. And if you didn't start with the Samurai class, make sure you're using the Morning Star that we had picked up earlier. It's almost dead. Just keep watching that health bar up there. And once you get it, pop that thing. Pop the pickled foul foot, and you're good. So it takes a while to fade away. You have plenty of time to pop that pickled foul foot, and then you'll get all the runes and 5 dragon hearts. Perfect for what we need. ride back to the Gray Skies, and I'll tell you what we're going to do with that. So what we want to do, guys, is we want to take Vigor to 20. We want to take Strength to 18 to get our weapon requirements. We want to take Dex to 17. We want to take Faith to 15 because we're going to use some incantations that are important for this build. And we're going to take Arcane to 12 because we have some bleed stuff that we're going to use on this build as well as the game progresses. But we're just to go through that again, we have 20, 18, 17, 15, and 12. And once we get that, guys, just confirm it. And you notice we're already level 36. We're already 36, and we can already yield our Bloodhound's Fang. So once we do that, guys, we can make some adjustments. We can apply the Bloodhound's Fang now instead of the Uji Katana. We are at heavy load, so we will have to change some things around here for now until we can pump that up with a Source Seal later on. Make sure Talisman's in place. You can take this off now. You can apply that as that. You can apply that as that. You can apply the Physic in there. And then I'm going to also, right now, before we forget, we're going to craft some sleep pots. So craft 3 sleep pots, and we are going to put those in where the blood spot pass was. Also, while you're here, guys, make sure your knives are at the tops in your pouch. I messed this up in prep, and I tried to kill something, and I didn't have a knife to throw, so just make sure your knives are always applied in your top hand slot. Something easy to remember. So you should be at medium load now, guys. You should have your Bloodhound's Fang, your Kite Shield, your Talisman. You should still be able to wear all your armor. Everything should still be good for a medium load, which is perfect for this build. And then after that, we are going to head to... Actually, before we do that, we are going to go behind us here. We have it's just a second. We have 2,000. We have 2,100 runes. Okay, so it's not a big deal. We might die here. We might lose these runes, but oh well. It's not a big deal. All we're gonna do here, guys, is we're gonna run through here. Just run through. You shouldn't need your lantern even. Just run on through. You will get poisoned here probably. There's a good chance of it. I mean, I'll be amazed if I don't get poisoned. I got poisoned in my prep, so good chance I'll get poisoned here. Wow, I didn't get poisoned here. Also, guys, before we go on to the next part of this, get this medallion real quick. And then real quick, make sure you have your Beast Repellent Torch and put that on right now. Don't forget about this. Very important for this next part. Beast Repellent Torch, run right down here. Follow the path that I'm taking so you don't have a lot of soldiers following you. Jump down into here, like so. Run right over here. You're going to hit this wall. You're going to jump. You're going to run back here. There'll be a giant rat, but don't worry. He's afraid of fire. He won't hurt you. You're going to jump down here, and you're going to get the Source Seal. And then you're going to wait just a brief second. These enemies should go away, and you should be able to teleport out of there in a second. Might take a bit to get out of there. It'll take just a second. There you go. Just keep tapping your map till it allows you to get out. Enemies will de-aggro there. In the prep, it only took like 5 seconds. There, it took like 20, so it might vary for you, but I think you'll be fine. All right, so let's check the notes. We got the Source Seal. We got the medallion. All right, from here, guys, we can take off that torch. We don't need the torch anymore. And we can then go right to the Fort Height. So Fort Height is right down here. That's where we're going next. Go to Fort Height. Wow, we are making good time. I screwed some of this stuff up in the prep, and yeah, we're making good time. This is going good so far. Hopefully I don't jinx that, though. I know what happens. Like what happened in last night's episode. Blade died when we were getting the Bloodhound's Fang. Like, I've never seen that happen. I'm still kind of blown away that happened. I've never seen that happen. Blade lost. Okay, so up here, guys, we're going to ride around here. Stick to the right-hand side. That way the enemies will not aggro. If they aggro, you should be able to take them out. I mean, you have a Bloodhound's Fang now with level 36 character. You should be able to take these guys out if you wanted to. Just for the sake of convenience, though, I'm playing this easier. So that guy's going to aggro probably. Maybe not. Maybe he will. He aggroed one time in my prep, but the other time he did not. So just right up here, guys. Jump right here. Doesn't look like you can make it, but you can. You can glitch that jump. Real super easy. Now, guys, we're going to run. Don't worry about killing anything. Run. Just run. You're going to get hit. Don't worry about it. You're not going to die. You're not going to die. Roll. Jump. Run up here. And go up the ladder. You might have a knight following you. Not a big deal. He's not going to catch you. He's trying to climb the ladder to beat you. He's not going to beat you. You're way ahead of the knight. Just run over here, get the medallion, and then he's probably quickly tap your menu. You should be able to get out of there. The game should be able to allow you to get out of there before the knight even gets up the stairs. If you do die there, though, it's not a big deal. You'll just be spawned back at the Grace. So, all right, we have both of those guys. Now we're going to head back up to the Grand Lift, which we unlocked in a previous episode. Oh, we did not. Actually, we did not unlock that. Okay, so that's a mistake I made. Wow. All right, so go to the Bellum Church, guys. This is my fault. I'm sorry about this. That should have been done already. Go to the Bellum Church. I must have missed that. I have no idea how I missed that, but I guess I did. Not a big deal, though. We can get it real easily. From the Bellum Church, guys, we're just going to ride up this way to the Grand Lift. The best way to do this without getting hit by catapults is stick to the left-hand side. And once again, I apologize, guys. This was supposed to be done in the previous episode. I must have skipped over to my notes. I had this written all out, and I must have missed it. Just ride on through. You can get a rune arc there if you want to. We'll need those later on, you know, once we get Godric's rune. Right up here. Stay to the left. And you basically made it through all the enemies. Not a big deal. Not a hard run. Just run up here. There will be like, I think a smithing stone here. Or no, dragon grease. That's right, dragon grease. You can pick it up. Might be handy later on. Get the grace. I remember the first time I found this Grand Lift in my first playthrough, I was like, Grand Lift? Like, is this going to take you to the final boss? And I kept thinking, like, this was the end of the game. Like, you got on this Grand Lift, and this would take you to the final boss, and when I finally took it then, I was blown away. I was like, what? There's a whole nother world up here. When does this game end? Because I had also found, you know, the underground. So I had already seen how big the underground was, and then I find the Grand Lift, and I see the up you know, the Atlas Plateau, and oh, it was just nuts. It was just blew my mind how big this game was. I had so many like feelings of like the same feelings like when I played Breath of the Wild for the first time. So many of the same feelings hit me playing this. I loved every second of it. That's why, you know, if this is your first playthrough, just play the game. Don't follow this walkthrough because it's going to ruin your entire experience. You shouldn't be your first playthrough. You should not be overpowered. You should be weak, you know, running through, trying to figure shit out, trying to, you know, just act dumb and stuff, just having a fun time. That's the best way to play these games, you know, the first time through. After you get off the Atlas Plateau, just ride off to the left-hand side, and there'll be a grace over here. We'll pick that up. Get the grace. And then we are going to ride up into here. So really don't worry about marking it. You can just see the path we're going to take. We're going to ride up just up toward that big-ass structure up there. You can follow the road. There'll be some knights here, but they're not going to harm you. They'll probably aggro on you, but they're not going to kill you. Just don't let them hit you. You'll be fine. On the way up, you should see a golden seed off to your left-hand side. If you don't get it now, we'll get it later. but there should be one coming up real soon. Off to the left there. Somewhere over there. Yep, there it is. Just right over here, get that golden seed. Like I said, it's not a big deal. If you didn't get it right just now, you can get it later on. We're going to take this path in just a little bit here. Get that seed, then head right back toward that path that we're taking. And I think there's a... Oh, there's the grace. I didn't get the grace in my record. I couldn't find the... or my prep file. When I was prepping for this episode, I, for some reason, could not find this grace. I don't know why. It was just not there. I don't know. I don't know how I missed it, but I somehow did. But then just ride back toward this structure. Stick to the left-hand side. I found the left-hand side is the best way to ride up through here. And I remember my first playthrough when I came up here for the first time and witnessed the two dragon dragon sentinels. Thank goodness they're not dragon sentinels. But the two tree sentinels up here. I was like, what is this? How are we supposed to fight this? And then I found out you could just ride right past them and save the fight for later on. So many moments like that in this game where, like, oh my gosh, like, you come to it your first time through ever seeing it and you're like, how am I supposed to do this? Just ride on through. Those tree sentinels shouldn't even make it back here. I think they have a wall that they can't pass toward. Just rest at the grace to de-aggro them. But like I said, they shouldn't be able to get you there. It's not a big deal. And then once we're here, guys, we got some things to pick up. Golden seed, and another map fragment. Once we get that, we're going to head up these stairs. Now on this, it's important to stick to your right-hand side. You'll see why in a moment. As you saw, big giant gargoyle. But you don't have to worry about him. He's not going to follow you. If he did follow you, you'd be screwed because they're not a grace right here. And gargoyles are seriously one of the hardest enemies to beat in the game. Once we get that, guys, we're gonna make our way out to in here. There's gonna be a grace that we're gonna get right about up here. Stick to your right-hand side here. Seems to be the best path you can think to take right through here. And there's not many enemies right there. You'll be fine. Just right up through here. There will be a grace up here to the left. Get that grace right here. And now we are gonna clean up our map a little bit, take off the markers that we have so we don't have a bunch of markers. We're gonna place a marker right up here. We're gonna go get one of my favorite items in the game. And it's not that you'll really need it for this playthrough, but I always like having it because it's super easy to get, and it's so nice to have, and that is the Twiggy Cracked Tear. So if you didn't know, in Souls games, you lose your souls when you die. Well, the good thing about having a Twiggy Cracked Tear on you is if you have a lot of souls and you are in a boss fight and you're not going to win the boss fight, or you may think you're not going to win or whatnot, you can easily pop the Twiggy Cracked Tear, and this can be used an unlimited amount of times. Every time you rest in a grace, it resets. You will not lose your runes. And it's activated for 3 minutes, so it's perfect to pop like before a boss fight. It's right up here. You'll see the giant tree just right on back behind these guards guarding it, and it's right here on the altar. Just get the item, and then just head out of there. And you might even be able to get out of there with those without those enemies seeing you. And if that's the case, you can just head right back to the Outer Wall Battleground Grace. Okay. And then get Merchant Bridge Grace. Okay. So then once we can do that, we can actually head right back to the first race we got over here in the Atlas Plateau, which was the Atlas Plateau race. Head to that one first. But yeah, the Twiggy Cracked Tear, I am that's such an awesome item. I'm so glad they put that in this game because you can honestly run around the whole entire world and not worry about losing your souls. Like on my character that's level 200 that I beat the game with and just completed the game with my platinum 100%. I run around with over 3 million souls, because I'm not gonna level that character up anymore. I didn't want to take it past 150 to be honest, because the meta is 150. But I did want to take it. I did want to get kind of more powerful on that character just because I have a few characters. I can always play PvP with my other characters if I need to. So it wasn't that big a deal. Also, guys, map this is where we're riding to. Sorry, I didn't tell you that. I got talking. The map marker up there is where we're going to. Um, but yeah, like I said, when like having that Twiggy Crack tier, you can literally just run around, do whatever, and anytime you think you're in trouble, you can pop it. And another great thing too is, let's say you died without popping it, your runes will be out on the field, but you can pop the Twiggy Crack tier on your way to get them, just in case you die. And if you die, the runes will still be there in that same location, so you can endlessly try to get back to your runes. It's awesome. It's really a cool feature they put. Once you get the map, guys, continue running up this path. Like, more Souls games should have put that in there because that is one of the most like I have so much anxiety about losing souls when I play Souls games. It's just like when I'm going into just like in an area where I don't know if it's going to be a bad area, I'm like all freaking out. Like, am I going to lose my souls here? What's going to happen here? Like, it's just I know there's other people out there like that too that have anxiety about that. But yeah, guys, just follow this up. That merchant's also a good merchant. He has some stone sword keys and stuff like that. We're not going to go buy anything from him. Just take the transporter. I mean, I can't be the only one that's lost over like 500,000 souls, in a Souls game, trying to, be in an area that I shouldn't be in and stuff, or whatnot. Once we get the transporter, guys, look at your map, and we're going to mark this spot right here. The trees right here, mark that spot right there. We're going to ride down to that spot. And one of these ledges you should be able to jump off. Nice little incantation is there if you want it. We won't need it for this build, but it'll grant you affinities. Yeah, basically all affinities. It'll grant you negation to all affinities. I think it's called Erd Tree Protection, if I remember right. Right down here, just get this golden seed. And then ride right back. And all of a sudden it's nighttime? Wasn't it just daytime a second ago in this game? I could have swore it was. Why'd it get dark there? That was crazy. We want to get right back up onto that. Alright, I guess I have to go through here, I guess. Alright, that's cool. Ride right on through there, and then follow this pathway through here. Now, guys, if you have souls, make sure and use the souls because we are going to be doing a suicide run here. I mean, you could use the Twiggy Crack tier that you just picked up. You just have to stop at a sign of grace first, to set it up. But we only have 2,236, which I'm not worried about. I mean, we can literally do the ball run 2 times and have 4,000 souls if we want them. So I'm not too concerned about that. Basically, just ride this path, guys. We are heading southwest from that bridge. Just continue following this path through. You'll see some guys over there. Ignore them. You're going to see a carriage blocking the road up here. And as you see, we're just riding this way into the map. Just following this path right on through. Just right on right through here. Pick up that blood grease. Might come in handy later on. I mean, we have blood flame. Well, we're going to get blood flame blade here, incantation here in a bit, so not going to be a big deal. Right over here, guys. Get this grace. And actually, you know what? Just for the sake of convenience, and I'm showing you how it works, just in case you're new to this, mix Wondrous Physic, apply the Twiggy Cracked tier right there, and I'm also going to put this right here to restores half of HP. We also have some other ones we picked up already, temporary boost stamina, and enhances charge attacks, which is also be really good with the Axe Talisman we picked up. But we'll use the Crimson Crystal tier, that way we have restores half of our total HP. If we need it, we have some extra flask then. So make sure that is applied down there, and then we are going to make a run. And this is going to be a suicide run, so just follow this path through, guys. This path only goes one way. You can't really mess this up. Just follow these enemies back. Try not to get killed by the Iron Maidens. The Iron Maidens are... I hate the Iron Maidens. I think the Iron Maidens are honestly one of the worst enemies in the game. I know you bait them, and once you bait them, you can... you can kill them then once they're baited. So right here, guys, you're going to get kicked off your horse. Don't freak out. You're going to get kicked off your horse. Once you do, make a run for that shack. Run toward that shack, ignore everything there, and grab this item right there. And then pop the Twiggy Crack tier. So we got Golden Vow, and now we can die in peace. And we'll have all our souls when we respawn at the Grace, too, because we got the Twiggy Crack tier. Isn't that so convenient? That's just awesome. I love that. You can run around the world endlessly knowing that if you die, your souls are not lost forever. Such an awesome thing. That's one of my favorite things in the game. And as you see, when we respawn, physic effects have prevented your runes from being lost upon death. So look, you still have all your runes. Nothing's different. The only thing that would be different, is if you have a Great Rune active, which we do not. You would lose the Great Rune because you died, or the Great Rune effect. You wouldn't lose the Great Rune, but you would lose the Rune Arc that you had applied. But from here on, guys, we're going to just go right from there, and we're going to go all the way back to the Academy Gatetown Grace. So back to Lernia. Once we're at Lernia, we're going to mark this spot on our map right here. This structure right here is a church. This is where that dragon was. These are just a bunch of rocks. We want to mark right here, right in the middle of the church and the rocks. And then right on to that. And watch out for the freaking giant lobsters, the other really bad enemy in this game. I mean, what's up with lobsters being able to snipe you off your horse? Like, why would Mikazaki think that was a good idea? Like, let's make lobsters be able to snipe the player off their horse. Only Mikazaki would come up with something like that. You're going to come up on these ruins right here. There's going to be a grace on top of these ruins. You can pick this up. This is actually an awesome PvP spot for doing fight clubs out here. Academy Gracetown. Academy Gatetown. Usually you can come here and pop your finger and have some friends come into your game, and you can do a fight club here. This is a great place to do a fight club. We're just going to keep on riding down here. There's the Rose Church, which we will be going to later on once we beat Godric. Right on past there. You're going to see albaneries right over there. Don't worry about them. You're going to see right here we have a golden scarab. Just jump off your horse. Run to this golden scarab. Get that golden scarab, and then we have Blood Flame Blade. And once we got that, we can just head back to a Grace. Doesn't really matter what. I'm just going to go back to Academy Gate Town for sake of convenience. And then let's talk about some things here. So rest at the Grace. Now, at this time of the game, we should have 3 spell slots. If you followed this guide, we should have 3 spell slots. Your first one, you can put Bloodflame Blade in there. We do not have enough faith yet to use the incantation we got up there, Golden Vow. Golden Vow is going to be our end game super powerhouse. Basically, you pop this or you use this before a boss fight. This thing runs for, I think it's like 90 seconds to 2 minutes. It might, or actually, no, it's about 90 seconds, I think, if I remember right. 90 seconds, somewhere in there. But it lasts a really long time. Golden Vow, it takes just a second to cast, uses 47 of your FP, and this thing boosts defense and attack, and for yourself and for your allies. So when we have our Mimic later on, or our summons, we'll be able to pop that with our summons, and it will also boost our summons as well. So very beneficial to have. Flame Cleanse Me, you should have too. Put that in your second slot right now. Your third one, you can just leave open for now. Later on, we'll put something in there, but for now, we don't have much faith to use any of these. We can use Bloodflame Blade, and we can also use Flame Cleanse Me to get Cure Rot buildup and Poison. That'll be nice. And we also have Bloodflame Blade to add Bloodflame to our blade anytime we need to. And just to show how awesome Bloodflame is, well, actually, I can't use it because I don't have a seal, but we'll get a seal in probably the next episode, if I remember. But we'll eventually get a seal. But I think that's where we're going to cap off this episode. We're at 31 minutes. We're ahead of schedule, but I want to keep these episodes around 30 minutes though, just because they're not such a burden to render and upload. But yeah, we're going to cap this episode off, and stay tuned, guys. More coming soon.